All right, time to recap some Loki season 2 premiere, episode 1. No Jeff today because he's out doing Surviving Barstool, but we do have Robbie Fox. Robbie Fox, My Mama's Basement. Obviously, I think you're the go-to source here for most Marvel content. I would
Appreciate
say.
that. Yeah,
and you already have your breakdown video out.
we do.
No?
We had Gia in the basement as well.
Nice.
Yeah, Marvel superfan Gia.
So make sure to check that out as well. We'll be doing I would assume a way more abridged breakdown here. But Loki premiered. We've been waiting for it for I feel like a very long time because Loki, I think it's far from a controversial thing to say that Loki is the best thing Marvel did TV wise.
Oh yeah,
it's not particularly close. Like I don't know what the argument would be for anything else really.
I see people try to make the argument a lot, but I don't think it's close.
For what? Like what else would it? WandaVision?
I've seen people try to make the WandaVision argument, which I thought WandaVision started a little slow and
see, I'm flipped on that. It's uneven no matter how you look at it.
Yeah. But that I've seen people try to make the Moon Knight argument, which
that's literally not a chance.
Yeah,
not a chance.
That's crazy to me.
I've seen people bring up Hawkeye, which I thought was great.
Hawkeye was good.
Hawkeye is like a nice. I'll go back to it during the holidays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loki is like a legitimately great season of television that sets up the universe a lot better than the movies tried to.
Yes, great writing, great acting, everything about it's amazing, and that's what we were
the
so
score. Oh my god, the score is so good.
Yeah,
the sets, everything about it.
That still surprises me that I forget her name.
Natalie Holt.
Natalie
was the girl who did the score.
She did the score for Loki, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then she did the score for Obi-Wan, which was horrible.
Horrible score.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It was so great. I was like, oh, I can't wait for her to see her spin on Williams and all of his themes. And it's don't.
The only times people pointed out the score were when they went back to the Williams themes.
Yeah.
That's always tough.
And I feel like if you're a composer, you're like the offensive line of a movie. Like you don't want people you're calling your name. You know what I mean? Like you don't want people saying your name at all.
Unless it's like you made the play of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. You made the biggest block and everyone's talking about Baldy's breakdowns going
Which
nuts
last season she kind of did.
Yeah,
like, I remember that episode where they went into the void and they faced off with Goliath and Richard E. Grant was in. There was like some epic music in that episode. That was awesome. They put out the whole soundtrack on vinyl because so many people loved it.
And I would say that like other than like the main Silvestri Endgame theme stuff, like since then, like that was the best soundtrack moment or soundtrack in anything Marvel since. And like however many years now it is, like what 3 years since Endgame.
I do like Giacchino's Spider-Man stuff, but even for like No Way Home and stuff, he used a lot of the old themes.
Yeah, it was just kind of reprising, I guess, his older stuff. But Loki, the big reveal at the end of the last season was that timekeepers ain't real. And everyone that works at the TVA is a variant. We start out this season with Loki getting torn between past, present, future, and the TVA's time slipping, as they call it. Which the time slipping I thought looked great.
Looked
awesome. That effect is really cool.
Yeah,
like, sort of like it almost looked like he was like Play-Doh or something, like getting dragged around in all these different directions.
I thought it looked like almost like a live action version of the Across the Spider-Verse when they're glitching in and out of universes.
Yeah.
That it's more of like a colorful tech glitch.
Yeah.
But this has the same like pulling you in and out of warp.
Maybe the texture is almost like Venom.
Yeah.
Venom-y, you know what I mean? I don't want to compare anything to Venom, but like that.
Stretchy, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. But he's getting torn between he's time slipping. They meet Ouroboros, played by Ke Kwan, who we've interviewed before. Amazing, so great. And awesome seeing him more stuff now. Playing Ouroboros.
One of the more likable actors. Yeah.
Obi,
which I immediately was like, oh, that's nice because YP used to call me OB. So I was like, now me and one of my favorite new actors, OB.
Nice. I like
that's
that.
A good
Octagon
one.
Bob.
Octagon Bob. Okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say, I don't think there's another Bob other than Youngstown. But he's kind of like the Q of the TVA.
Totally.
You know what I mean? He's just like the tech guy.
I said he's kind of he's Data all grown up.
Yes.
And they put him in the basement.
Yeah. He's perfectly used. Like they wrote him perfectly. Like just play up how likable he is.
The way he comes down from like a swing and he has like his shop is the most like junk filled shop ever.
Yeah.
I said this is the most niche reference, but I said it looked like the mailroom from the live action Grinch.
Wow, I know you're right. That's
like cluttered. Yeah. They have the tubes, the bank tubes of him
tubes,
sending stuff up. I loved everything about that. And the way they used him with like him talking to Loki and OB in and out of conversation, or in and out of the timeline and remembering things.
Yes.
That was so cool how they did that.
So Loki's being like dragged between three of these timelines. And like he's basically OB is fixing his issue live across these different timelines, which is just a great sequence when they're going through each one of them and like working out in their own ways or whatever. It's really cool. And they find out the only way they're going to fix Loki is by using the temporal loom, which is like this big device in the middle of the TVA that Kang created to stop the other Kangs from destroying everything, basically. And it refines all of raw time into the sacred timeline, and it's overloaded because of all these variations. And he gets told, like, hey, you got to prune yourself at exactly the right time or you're fucked. And right before he's about to prune himself, Sylvie comes out the elevator, is like, hey, what's up? And then he gets pruned by who we don't know.
I think it's him.
They prune
Gotta
him.
be him, right?
There's enough hymns where it could just be him.
Yeah.
And then we get a quick post credit of Sylvie coming out of a time door in Broxton, Oklahoma in 1982 at a McDonald's. The subtitle, I think, said like branched location.
Yeah, like branched timeline.
Yeah. And she just orders one of everything.
It appears to be her right after she killed Kang too. Like,
yes.
In the moments after that happened.
Directly after.
And based on what we saw in the trailer, it looks like she's going to stay there for a while because she's got the different hair and the bangs.
Yeah.
And she's got a job at McDonald's in the trailer.
Yeah. And she was like, just sees everyone like having a good time with their, and her whole thing with destroying or killing Kang, I guess, was like, hey, I want everyone to have free will and do their own thing. And like, she just sees everyone just chilling, having a great time, eating McNuggets. And she's like,
sees a couple, maybe misses her man.
Misses her man, Loki, a little bit.
Herself. Yeah.
But yeah, Loki, I thought at first, and I was texting him and Jeff this, I didn't watch the recap and I was lost.
Dude, I needed the recap and I didn't know how much I needed it till I was watching it. I was like, oh yeah, like that. They were talking about Ravonna Renslayer a couple times. I was like, I don't remember the last time I saw her.
Who the fuck is that? And I was like, oh yeah. And then like I'm starting to recap it. I need to rewatch that one. And then also I went back and rewatched the recap after like probably like 20 minutes in because I'm like, I don't know. I'm so lost. But after that, I really had a good time. It's kind of like really cool to get I think everyone's talking about this too, the bromance between the two, between
Owen Wilson.
Hiddleston and Owen Wilson is just great. Is that they have really weirdly great chemistry.
They're so good together.
Yeah.
They might be my favorite friendship in the whole MCU at this point.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Good setup for things to come because I feel like you're picking up in a very chaotic point at the end of the last season, and I think they did a good job of like managing that chaos, giving you a little setup, and then moving you into like where we're moving now. Because like, a lot of shit happens in this episode, whole lot of stuff to recap, and I think they moved on pretty well. And also, there's like new writers, directors, everything in this new season. Shout out our boy Michael Waldron. Like there's new everything, and I think it's still pretty much picked up right where it left off, which is impressive. So really liked it. What about you, Bob Fox?
The direction I thought was like actually awesome because I think I saw a YouTuber point this out. It might have been Heavy Spoilers or someone else. The most of the episode is just people talking in the TVA about all this time shit, but they are cutting the camera and moving it and doing one shots down hallways and following characters. And it's like very unique how it's shot. The whole aesthetic of the TVA, I said, is like a warm blanket at this point. I just know it's quality. I loved all of the reveals, the reveal of the crack in the floor.
Yeah.
Has that always been there? Did it, just appear there? The reveal of the Kangs behind the wall. Kang can apparently like do anything he wants, but he just slaps flyers on over like the old Kang shit. He's like, nobody will ever look behind that, right?
Yeah, whatever.
But everything about it I loved. I thought it was, like you said, it set up the season well, but it wasn't a setup episode. The episode itself and the conclusion at the end of it felt like a mini movie, hit the ground running.
Yes.
I thought it was quality wise, same as last year. And it sets up for an awesome, I think it's a 6 episode season again.
Right? Yeah, right.
Wait, the first season was only 6 episodes?
Yeah, which is nuts because they did way more with 6 episodes than a lot of the 10, 8 episode series.
Let's see. 6 episodes again.
Okay, perfect.
So if it's 6, no filler episodes, just all killer material, I'm down for that. And I do agree with you. I think the Loki that got pruned, I think got pruned by Loki.
Yes.
Because of how nonchalant Sylvie was like, oh, there you are. I was looking for you.
Yeah.
I think they're on a mission together. She thought that Loki was her Loki. And we'll probably get that in a later episode, which will all be cool. I love when they do the almost Prisoner of Azkaban thing where you like relive the movie in the movie.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
That is really cool just seeing it happen from the other perspective.
Yeah.
That was a great, sneakily great, or really well put together by, was it Cuarón, right? Who did, was it Alfonso Cuarón who did?
Yeah.
Or Iñárritu?
Cuarón,
yeah. And Prisoner of Azkaban, like where he's watching it all happen.
I did the Harry Potter movies for the first time ever last year. I was like, I hadn't seen them. That was my favorite by far. I thought the time travel stuff, how it was handled. Gary Oldman is so fucking good in that.
Rocks.
It's great.
Yeah, well, he rocks in the movie. The character is really good. I don't want to say
does Gary Oldman the man not rock?
I feel like no.
Is he canceled?
Right? Really?
Gary Oldman did some. I remember there was a bad thing I heard about Gary Oldman.
It's because he played a small person.
Gary Oldman
on his knees.
Did he?
In what movie?
Where did he play a little person?
Tiptoes. Oh, you got to watch the trailer for Tiptoes, man.
It's
Gary
called
Oldman is a
Tiptoes?
little person, and he's on his knees with like shoes underneath, basically.
Oh no!
And it's with
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You gotta be shitting me.
It's a ridiculous. I've never watched the movie.
I can't believe that
but the
poster's real. That
the
poster
trailer,
looks fake.
The trailer alone will get you to laugh.
That is fake. I think they just
That's like a
random
Jimmy
screen
Kimmel
caps.
poster, yeah.
Who the fuck? Gary Oldman, Kate Beckinsale, Patricia Arquette,
Is
Matthew
he
McConaughey.
really canceled? I thought he was fine.
I think he's.
I think he's fine now, but I remember something bad
Maybe
had
he was
happened.
Oh,
thinking
I don't know.
Liam Neeson?
What's that?
You thinking of Liam Neeson?
No.
All right.
Well, he also yeah. By the way, his episode of Atlanta was so funny. That was such a risk.
Liam Neeson's episode of Atlanta?
You didn't watch it?
No.
Oh, it's so.
I haven't seen it either, but I know the premise of it.
Yeah, he.
I've never seen Atlanta.
One of the characters like meets Liam Neeson, happens to run into Liam Neeson at a bar.
Yeah.
And he has this big conversation about him and like what he said at
Hit that thing?
that quote.
Oh, wow.
And all that stuff. And he's like, yeah, everyone got mad. And he's like, I was just speaking off the cuff. I'm really sorry about this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, the character, it was Brian Tyree Henry, I believe. He's like, oh, so like you're really cool with black people? He's like, no, I hate all of you. You tried to get me fired. And
Oh my God.
It's a really risky thing for Liam Neeson to take that role, but he did it and it was very funny.
Liam Neeson playing himself.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Always.
Yeah.
He's very funny in Ted too,
Dude, not
as himself.
Life's Too Short.
Life's
One of
Too
the
Short.
funniest
Oh my God,
clips of all
that
time
bit
is
is
him
so
in
good,
Life
yeah.
Too Short with Ricky
With
Gervais
the
going back
doctor.
and forth.
Yeah.
Tring, we're closed. It's
Yeah, if you
so
haven't
good.
seen that, pause this YouTube video, go watch that YouTube video, come back
Watch
to this YouTube video.
Life's Too Short, Liam Neeson, and also watch Life's Too Short, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp also has
There's a bunch of them, that
Yeah.
are really funny.
really good stuff on that. Shout out to our boy Warwick Davis, who we almost accidentally killed.
We
in
almost
Star Wars
killed him.
Celebration.
Yep.
That was our bad. Very much
That
our
would have
bad.
been bad.
But
Should
yeah,
put him in Tiptoes.
what'd you think?
Yeah, no, I said it like on Twitter on whatever Thursday night. I was just like, the show Loki is just very clearly a massive step up from everything else Marvel's doing right now, including the movies, which I've defended some of them. Like people don't like Multiverse of Madness, but I still defend it, even though it's got issues. Loki just doesn't have those glaring issues that everything else has. Like the effects look great, the direction's great, the writing is fantastic. It actually builds up the villains to make you fear them. Like everything is working. There's no real misses anywhere. So yeah, I mean, I love this, and I can't wait for the rest of the season. I just want the rest of Marvel I want the rest of these Marvel projects to have this amount of care put into them, because it's very clear. It's easy. It's easy for them to do it, or at least it's possible for them to do it. It's not like Loki has a $500 million budget. It's got the same budget as everything else for the most part. Like, I don't think it has more than what was She-Hulk? $225 million?
Disgusting.
Nuts.
Atrocious.
That
Same with
Secret
Invasion.
Secret
Like,
Invasion.
yeah,
Atrocious.
With some of the worst CG we've ever seen in the finale.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah,
that is
so
unbelievable.
It's like, I don't know if they need more oversight or less oversight in these writers' rooms, or
less projects. Neither of those shows need to happen. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's true. But
They offered
then
nothing.
again, I didn't really want a fucking Loki project, to be honest, either, because I was like, well, Loki's
like,
done
I
for.
felt the same. I was like, we've seen
we've
enough Loki.
seen Loki. Like,
And
But here's the
Yeah.
big difference I give between those ones is that Loki is a far and away more interesting character
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
Nick Fury and then
Yeah.
She-Hulk. They spent like almost $300 million on a sitcom. One
Yeah.
season of a sitcom.
and I'll tell you this much: it's gotten to the point where they've built up, I guess, Shuri to take over the Avengers,
Oh, we were just talking about Iron
or
Wars. We don't know what the fuck is going on with Iron Wars.
or Rhodey to take over the Avengers, or Spider-Man
No.
to take over as the leader of the Avengers. But like, honestly, at this point, I kind of want to see Loki come back into the fold and take over
as the leader. Like, he
lead
fought the
Avenger.
Avengers first and then leads them. That'd be sick.
dude. Like
That'd be
he
sick.
is the most charismatic guy they have left.
Now
Yeah.
he'll know the most about multiversal time travel and Kangs by the time we get to Secret Wars.
Exactly.
He'll probably know the most.
I would do like if it was just
He'd be
him
really good.
and other than as far as like charisma goes, like what do you call it? Chris Hemsworth? Also incredible
Yes.
charisma.
Dude,
he was
the
one
two
the
of them
better characters.
together as like Loki and Thor leading the Avengers.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, now we're cooking.
Also,
That's
you
so
want to
much
get
better.
like people are like down on Thor right now. You want to get him back in good graces. Like,
Yeah.
just add him to the Loki Mobius trio, and now
oh my
Exactly.
god, like
we're cooking.
those two have always had such a great chemistry. And like, and again, both those two, like we're saying, great charisma. Hemsworth specifically with the humor element of it.
Yeah,
is
dude, the
always
snake
crushed it.
scene in Ragnarok.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Dude, it's so good.
That's a good idea.
yeah.
And apparently, this all leads into Deadpool 3, which leads
Yep.
into Secret Wars. So the route is there for you to do that.
Yeah, and Deadpool 3, we were just, the news broke while we were getting ready. Apparently, they're sticking to their May 2024 release date, which how? I don't know.
Oh my god!
Don't know how that
That
works.
one we got to worry about the CGI. That's what
Yeah.
that means.
Yeah, very
But
much so.
The other thing we were talking about, and I was talking about this with Jeff earlier in the week,
Mhm.
Agatha given a
Who gives a
September
rat's ass?
2024 release date. It's going to be another full year until we get the show based on a cute little song that got memed.
Yeah.
Then
Unbelievable.
they gave Ironheart a September 2025 release date.
Wait,
They
okay.
wrapped filming this year.
Dude,
It's done.
Crazy.
It's wrapped.
And Agatha,
Apparently,
I thought it was done a
Mephisto,
while
Sacha
ago.
Baron Cohen, Aubrey Plaza, maybe.
and Agatha based on WandaVision, which came out at what point now? Like 2019?
2020. It was
No,
pandemic,
it was
right?
pre-pandemic.
I
wasn't it?
really want to know who
No,
Aubrey,
I was in Abu Dhabi when that
Oh,
dropped.
never mind.
So it must have been pandemic.
Aubrey Plaza being in that Agatha series. I really want to know who she's doing a favor
Yeah.
for, because it just does not seem like her shit at all. Like coming on to do a Disney Plus streaming series, like
Maybe they told her you get to play the devil. That's the rumor, right? That she's playing a
Oh.
version of Mephisto.
well, I mean,
And she
it's-
said, "I'll play the devil."
2021. Wow, that feels way too recent. It feels like it's so long ago.
But it's going to be fucking 3 years, over
Still
3
crazy
years?
for a side character that was good in a very limited dose.
And a show that I don't think exists without people thinking the song was cute.
Yes,
the Agatha
exactly.
all along
the Wanda fans will be getting into middle school at that point.
That's just crazy to me. Like both those shows, like how do you justify unless they're incredible?
They
Yeah.
better be. They really
Like,
better
See,
be.
this is the issue with Loki. It's so good that it makes you really examine everything else that they're
Yeah.
doing on the streaming service right
We're
now.
putting everything else under the microscope.
Yeah, and the same thing happened with Andor. It's like Andor comes
Yeah.
out and then Kenobi follows on its heels, and like I think Kenobi wouldn't have been drilled nearly as hard if it had come out before Andor, but it coming out right after was like, well, I just saw what you guys can do.
Yeah.
Like so
And
this
then
is
they're doing the Leia chase with Flea.
Loki season 2, $141 million, by the way. So it costs
What?
$100 million less than Secret Invasion and
Okay, just give the money for future projects to this team.
yes, exactly.
Just let them allocate money for all of your projects.
It's insane. It is insane. Again, it is beyond a fucking disgrace how much money they spent on those
They
projects.
should really, and I know they kind of did this with Waldron, where they like took his writing on season 1 and gave him other projects.
Yeah.
But this should be the thing where it's like, let's take all of the best writers from this
Yeah.
and give them the movies next.
Yes.
Which you don't want to take everyone away from Loki because we want Loki to remain
Yeah.
good. But how many seasons can it last?
Just let that team like
We're here for
take
the
their
movies.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the shows, but
Let them take their time. Like,
Yes.
and it's weird too. Loki is like the only show that can even compete with stuff like Peacemaker and stuff like The
Agreed.
Boys.
Yeah.
even the
like-
boys.
Like those two are like I would say the like 1A 1B best superhero shows
Yep.
running right now, and like nobody can touch them other than Loki. Like Loki, I would say is like right there. It's not like it's some huge division gap or anything like,
this
I would say on
team
the same
should
level.
just-
I would
they
probably
should
put
do
Loki
Kang
above The
Dynasty
Boys.
and Secret Wars. I think.
What's that?
I think this team should do Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars at this
They
point.
clearly get it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? More than anybody, which it's insane.
And like you could hire a different director if you want. But as
Yeah.
far as like the writers' room, they,
structuring it. Yeah.
like Gooch said, like the fact that they built up Kang
Yeah,
way better
immediately.
than Quantumania ever did.
dude.
They made you immediately forget that King got beat by ants.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
it took like 2 minutes for me to be like,
It took
oh
that
fuck.
one conversation of Tom Hiddleston to be like, we met the devil at the end of time and he
Yeah,
made
yeah.
sense. I was
Yeah,
like, holy
yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
this guy's scary.
I just got chilled.
And there's
Yeah.
an army of them coming
Like,
to kill us.
That
Like,
was awesome. That was an amazing scene. And we didn't get anything that good in Quantumania.
they definitely wanted to have more Kang. You could taste it a
Well,
little
they
bit at the end of
added
this
him to the
episode.
Marvel Studios logo. I noticed that.
Yeah.
There's a new shot of Kang in the Marvel
I'm
Studios
very
logo,
curious
Oh.
how that all works out.
which makes me think they're like, we're full steam ahead on
I don't know
Jonathan
I don't know if they took out scenes with him, from the first episode, or if they're going to be restrictive on scenes with him because of the entire Jonathan Majors controversy, which we're not going to debate right
Dude,
here.
but that staged fight that he broke up
So
is one of the
funny.
funniest
the
things
funny-
I've ever seen.
The
He is
person
the worst,
filming it with their front facing camera
Yeah.
on a laptop.
Yeah.
dude. It's by far, I think, the worst PR team that's ever
Yeah.
existed. Like whoever runs
Stop.
this stuff.
You shouldn't be fighting like
Yeah.
this. You should be respecting each
You should
other
be reading
and caring
books
for each
and
other.
going to
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking
And don't smoke cigarettes, by the way.
Yeah.
They're bad for you.
It's fucking insane.
But I was going to say, even if it's whether it's like because they don't want to show him because of that stuff or it's something else entirely, I kind of like it. I kind of like him not being shown because
Yes.
it makes
Yeah.
him so much more terrifying. Like he's just
Exactly.
looming.
It's what they were going for in Quantumania when they kept being like, that guy, he's
Yeah.
coming.
Mm-hmm.
And they never,
Yeah.
the one moment
Never
in Quantumania where I feel like they achieved it was the very end when Scott's sitting at dinner with his family and they're all having a good time, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, that guy said that there's more of them coming." Like, did we fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, nah, we're probably good. But that one moment I liked, and that's what Loki gave me.
I almost feel like for the structure of Kang and how they want him to be the next Thanos, basically, he should have just won in Quantumania.
Absolutely.
Like that should have just been
that
the end
was
of that movie.
that would have fixed so much of what was wrong with the movie.
Yeah.
Like he just wins, and Ant-Man has to like kind of slink home.
Let him kill one member of Scott's family. Let him kill Hank.
Rene Russo's dead, and Hank's dead.
Let him kill the Wasp even. Let him
Wasp be
kill
rougher, but
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I
they
mean,
had the
fuck.
whole.
I think they wanted to kill the Wasp. They let her say like 5 things in that movie.
Dude, she was not
Yeah,
a
true.
factor.
Yeah, she was barely in that.
If she killed all of them except for him and his daughter,
That would have been
that would have
great.
been great. Then that would sell you more on
Would
him.
have been
as
like,
a-
this
as
guy's
a villain.
killing families at this point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Just to the
Hawkeye,
generational
hide
light.
your family again.
Yeah, I mean that would help Loki, and it would help them setting up Kang for the rest of whatever stage we're in now. Feels like
Yeah, and
That's
we were
okay.
talking about
That's
this on My Mom's Basement. Gia brought up the High Evolutionary.
Mhm.
She's like, it took one movie for me to like that guy more than Kang as a villain.
he should.
Yeah.
No, we've been talking about him for. I think it was our first guy to replace Jonathan Majors. Right?
Yes.
It's like he should absolutely be Kang.
I said maybe you do the cheat code with him and you have Kang just hit a dog with his car. People will hate him.
Yeah.
Like they hated the High Evolutionary.
Yeah. Immediately.
Just have him kill a cute animal and they will be on the hate train.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code in cinema. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Like you can kill as many human beings as you want
Dude,
on
the
the
second
screen.
you touch a
The
dog.
second you touch a dog or a cat or any kind of
John
cute
Wick,
animal,
man.
John Wick is the perfect example.
Yeah,
There's a
fucking-
franchise based on.
Fucking Theon
Like-
Greyjoy beats up that dog, and you did not cheer for any villain to die more than that. Kid.
No, not at all.
And he hit the double one where it's like, yeah, killing. You're instantly hating anyone that kills a dog, but then also petulant child.
Yeah.
That's also you want that guy dead. So that just hit the twofer right there.
it was
which
a
is great.
dog that John Wick's dead wife got him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Delivered to him.
note and everything. Yeah, real
Yeah.
bad.
But anyway, that's Loki. I think we all pretty much liked. We all liked it a lot. Looking forward for more episodes. And I think it's awesome that we got Ahsoka ending and this picking up pretty much at the same time. I think we were talking about before. We like the finale for Ahsoka as well.
Yep.
And we're excited for more. I'm so pumped for Andor season 2.
Yeah.
There's a
Great.
trailer leak for it, which it was making the rounds. I saw it and it did look great.
Yeah.
Look great.
And K2SO in season 2 as well.
Yes, exactly.
Great Star Wars
There
character.
we go.
Very pumped up
First,
for K2SO.
first broke here, by the
Yeah.
way, if you guys recall the Alan Tudyk interview.
The Alan
That's right.
Tudyk interview.
He
Yeah.
said, he said, I'm not in season 1. That was before it was like known that there's going to be
That's
multiple
right.
seasons.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not in season 1. And we're
Star
like,
Wars fans were
wait,
like, oh,
Yeah,
season 1.
Yeah. I like Alan Tudyk's the best.
I love him.
Great.
I wish we
guy.
talked to him. Yeah, I wish we talked to him more about Knight's Tale. He's so good in that too.
Joe's be the
And
only
he-
place for me.
He carried Resident Alien. Like
Yeah,
that was a
that was a
very
funny
funny
show.
show. For I didn't watch
Sci-fi?
season 2, but for the whole first season, very funny.
That's right. Well, we both interviewed him for Resident Alien. That's
Yeah.
right. But that is Loki. Looking forward for next week. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. Helps us out a lot. We will be back next week with another review of Loki season 2, episode 2.